Well, first-time homeowner Christina Cravero brought her eye for style to a brand new townhouse. Take a look. Welcome to my first home. I just got my keys, so come on in and let's see my space. We've got the family room, the dining room, and the kitchen. And then I think the biggest transformation that we're going to do is going to be the kitchen. We're going to add the backsplash, we're going to change the handles, add the light fixtures, so I think it's going to be great. Fast forward a few months and look what we've done. This was the biggest room that we had to play around with. The way that we made it work was sticking with a neutral color, say the grays, and adding pops of color with the yellows and the golds and the blues and the silvers, and a little bit of orange in the bookcases. The theme throughout my whole home was gold and white, but the way to incorporate the gold in not a gaudy way was to mix metal. So by mixing chromes or silvers and golds together, even a little bit of copper tones, you're really going to be achieving a little bit more of an elevated look. My dream kitchen was always a white kitchen, but for me to carry that gold theme throughout, I chose gold hardware, from the light fixtures to the handles to the gold faucet. When choosing our backsplash, we really wanted it to match our countertop. But when we went to go look at what one large slab was going to cost us, it was way too expensive, which is why we opted for porcelain floor tiles, which saved us so much money. Our dining room is small, so in order to make it look bigger, I chose a glass table and chairs that had a light fabric. I added 2 antique-looking mirrors to give it character, give it warmth, but also to help open up the space. I think the rooftop terrace was probably the hardest room to really imagine, because it was so large, it was so big, and we weren't really sure what we were going to do with it, how we were going to lay it out. But we really thought about each space as individual spaces, exactly like it is inside. So, for instance, the living room area. This is where we all lounge, where we sit, where we relax. The dining area on the rooftop was the most important space. We love to entertain, and we wanted to really utilize the space properly. And the only way that we thought we could do that to fit 8 people was to get a table that was extendable. So if we remove the leaf, we can shorten it, and we can even just fit 6, which would be a little bit more intimate. To extend it to have a larger party, then opt for something that has the leaf in it. Most people, I think, tend to forget that extendable tables really do come in handy when you are throwing large parties. And then when you're outside, you really want to make sure that you remember the coverage. So while my umbrella may seem quite large for most people and for most spaces, I had to make sure that I was getting one of the biggest umbrellas that we could find, only for the simple reason that our space is quite large, and I wanted to make sure that my guests and myself were covered whether we were lounging or dining. So the great thing about rooftop patios or even outdoor spaces is that you can have so much fun with it by just adding pops of color. That's what makes my space, I think, feel so homey, so warm, and so inviting for all my guests.